pleasure, Lepsa,
Yes.
and thanks for taking my call.
Yes,
Yes,
Lisiba.
you see, I was Cathy, our problems with the African National Congress are getting worse. When you look, it's still the early age of the ad hoc committee and the Madanga Commission, but the information that's already out there for the public to consume, it shows very well that as the African National Congress, we are in a very big trouble because it can't be correct. It can't be correct. All the criminal implicated in various acts of corruption are related to our leaders in one way or the other, either friends, relatives, and so on. The latest one is this one of Hangani. So the president is now in a very, very difficult position to explain himself how it's related to this person, because the issue of Tembisa Hospital is not only the money that was stolen, even the lives of the people that were concerned about of the patients there, of the people that are using that hospital, Bobabida and the others, they've lost their lives outscape.
So Lisiba, you believe that the story that the president is giving, remember, Hangwani Maumela is not his nephew. It's not his direct nephew. Hangwani Maumela is the nephew of his ex-wife.
Yes.
So you don't believe the story that him and Hangwani don't know each other because he left that marriage years ago. Maybe probably met him as a child. Who knows?
But
it's
now,
not. It's not a credible story and a credible explanation, in your view.
The explanation coming from the president is not enough, because look, the ANC is contesting a democratic space where the people they are not even forced to vote for us. Our leaders must be beyond reproach. Our leaders must be clean, because we are not like MK, we are not like EFF. We must be a different organization according to our history. So the leaders that ANC deployed there at the national level, it should be the leaders that are clean to the extent that no even a spark will fall on that individual. But what I can tell you, Kate, that now the ball is in the court of the branches of the ANC, members of the ANC, because it's very clear. National Executive Committee, NWC, will not help us, the PECs and the PWCs, even the REC, because majority of these leaders are implicated. If we are looking answers for them to renew our organization, we will not get the answers. Things will be like this. The people that are voting our organization will be frustrated. Eventually, they are going to drop us. We must use upcoming General Council that is coming, NGC, National General Council, just to ask these people, even before the finalization of the commission, the ad hoc committee, we must ask these comrades to step down, allow comrades who are clean, not implicated in any way, to lead organizations as you go to municipal elections.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you are going to suffer.
And you know, one of the other things about it, Lisiba, is that if the president acknowledged that he knew Maumela, there would have been nothing wrong, because he was married to his aunt. So
no, the problem is one.
It wouldn't have been unusual, right? It wouldn't have been unusual, because it's not like the president is directly responsible for procurement at Tembisa Hospital.
My problem is one, and it's the problem of South Africans, I'm sure including yourself. You remember after the July unrest, we allowed the president to put intelligence of the nation in his office of the president. The intelligence office is according to his office. You can't be running intelligence and not knowing some of the people that are close allies, what they're doing. The intelligence should have assisted the president as the head of the country to know the activities. Just to come as the president, I never know this. And what do you know? Because you are in charge of intelligence. Because as the head of state, part of your responsibility is to make sure that you run the clean government. You can't wait for commission to assist you. You can't wait for other. You must use the institutions that are there assigned to you by democracy to make sure that no criminal activity is happening. You mustn't find yourself surrounded by the people that are dropping your name, are stealing, and you are in charge of the intelligence, and you tell us you know nothing.
Okay, all right, Katu. All right, Lisiba, let's leave it there. Elisiba in Khobokwani. Yeah, one always also, I mean, just generally in families, right? Even extended families. If there's a family member that moves in down the road from you. I mean, I don't want to make assertions about all families being the same, but is it not mentioned? Or, oh, did you hear? Did you hear who our new neighbor is? I don't know. Is that not part of what happens in other families? Katu, you in Midrand?
Good morning. Hi, Cathy. I mean,
I'm deliberately stirring the pot here.
no, let me add spices to it. Never in the age of information has there been so much disinformation in our country. First of all, the guy sitting with the president wearing an Orlando Pirates shirt is not Morgan Mahomera. That's not Morgan. I know Morgan personally, and number one, that's not him. Number two,
sitting with the president where, Katu?
There's a picture going around on X or Twitter.
This is not the picture outside the house. Because
not outside the house.
That's the only video I've seen where there are allegations of that being Mahomela, but it's not him. That's Bishop Noel Jones. That's the picture that is the video that has created contention about whether he was in his house or outside his house, and the president's explaining that he was on his morning walk and happened to be walking in that route.
Yeah, that's not even Morgan. There's another picture circulating of him sitting with a gentleman next to him. He's got a beard and an Orlando Pirates shirt.
Okay,
that's
I haven't
not Morgan
seen that one.
either.
Yeah, okay.
Chris Excel, all of them are going on.
Okay.
I think we in the country, we are not used to somebody doing something right. I'm not saying about public relations of President Ramaphosa, but I feel like everybody's just looking for something to just throw at him. Even with General Mkwanazi, when he came out, people were just looking for anything, any picture that can just say, Luena, you're guilty of something. We knew it. So for me, I'm not a public relations of the president. He's got nothing to do with Morgan. Like you just said now, he's a nephew of the ex-wife. And believe you me, January 8th, I've been to January 8th. There's a huge possibility that you can shake the president's hand. So does shaking his hand mean I'm in business with him? He could have shaken the hand of Cathy Mohlahlana, Brian Mokgotsi, or anybody. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of people shake the president's hand or meet him running. Doesn't mean that he's in business with him. But for me, I'm just shocked that so much disinformation has become the gospel in South Africa. It's shocking.
And so I think part of why it exists, Katu, is because we so easily lap it up as members of the public. I think we love it. We thrive on it. In fact, we don't like the truth anymore. You know, we just want things that are going to fit in with what we have framed as our narrative and what we think to be the real issue that is unfolding in front of our eyes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's just leave it at that. And
Okay.
I hope Brian Mokgotsi paid Sibia back for the breakfast, or he came back and paid for the breakfast.
No,
That's a different story.
he did say that he came back and paid for his own breakfast.
for the breakfast, exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, Brian Mokgotsi must tell us if he pays for anything in life. Probably he's covered, he's sorted. Anonymous, you're in Riverlea. Good morning.
Cathy, good morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Brian Mokgotsi is just a spinnerback. Cathy, on a more serious note, does anybody know what the situation is with the cancer patients at Charlotte? My nephew has been called in on 3 occasions to come and do chemo. When he gets there, they tell him there's no vials available. Is there anybody that can help us and tell us what's going on? This poor young man is dying in agony, eh?
And what are you being told at the hospital?
He gets a call that says, come in for chemo. When he gets to the hospital, they say to him, sorry, we don't have vials.
Then he's not told when they're going to get them. He's not told when else he can come back.
Nothing. This young man is dying, Cathy, and he's desperate for this chemo.
Sure. That is incredibly strange. And the Gauteng HOD official for
It's
health
suspended now.
is suspended. Yeah, we'll need to try
So
and
I'm
get an
actually
answer.
pleading
Yeah.
for anybody to give us information to help us. I need help for this young man, Cathy.
Okay. Yeah, let's see if we can reach out to the officials at the Gauteng Department of Health, and
Thank you
perhaps
very much.
there's an answer that they can give us. All right.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Cathy.
Anonymous.
Thanks.
Anonymous out in Rivoli. Yeah. This is, and this is what's wrong. This is what's wrong with the system. Here is a patient in the middle of chemotherapy. One of the most difficult therapies an individual can ever have to go through. And now they're pausing that chemotherapy without any clear indication of when it will be available again. But we also know that with some of these treatments, if you break the course, then you have to start almost from scratch, because there's supposed to be that level of consistency. But why not communicate? Why not say, this is what we are doing? If you don't know how long it's going to be, at least then also be honest with him. But don't just let him go and not know what must happen next. It's really not. It's not Batopele, guys. Let's be honest. It's not Batopele. This is not how we should be treating people, especially patients. A cancer patient going through the worst time probably of his life. It's time for the latest news update.
In our top stories, Gauteng Health HOD placed on immediate suspension, and University of the Free State students ordered to vacate campus. Good morning. The Gauteng Health Department's HOD, Cathy Mohlahlana, has been suspended. Gauteng Premier Panyaza Sophie has placed him on suspension with immediate effect and has appointed Dr. Darian Barkley to act in his position. Dr. Barkley is currently leading the Department of Cooperative Governance in the province. According to Lusufi's spokesperson Elijah Mhlanga, the Premier will also make the signed performance agreements of all members of the Executive Council available to the public on Thursday.
This action taken by the Premier is part of an ongoing assessment of officials, the work they do, the monitoring of targets, as well as their conduct. As a province, we remain committed to upholding the highest standards of accountability and ethical leadership. And at the same time, we remain steadfast in our commitment to root out maladministration. We'll continue to monitor the work done by our senior officials, and as and when the need arises, action will be taken.
The Special Investigating Unit has been granted permission to expand its scope of investigations into alleged corruption by the National Lottery Commission after President Cyril Ramaphosa signed an amendment of the NLC proclamation. The proclamation amends the initial investigation into allegations of maladministration and corruption that began in 2020. Its alleged procurement processes were flouted and public funds to the amount of approximately 2 billion rand misused. SIU spokesperson Kaiser Khanyago.
The SIU is now authorized to investigate whether the procurement of and contracting for these services was conducted in a manner that was not fair, equitable, transparent, competitive, or cost-effective, as well as contrary to applicable legislation, treasury instructions, or the NLC's own policies and procedures. The investigation also covers any related unauthorized, irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure incurred by the NLC or the state. The amendment is as a result of an allegation to the SIU during its investigation, and the investigation findings which necessitated an extension of the scope and time.
The suspended Deputy National Police Commissioner for Crime Detection, Shedrick Sibiya, has denied the existence of the Big Five crime syndicate. Crime Intelligence Head Dumisani Kumalo revealed the existence of the Big Five, a group of entrepreneurs known for drug trafficking, contract killings, kidnappings and other illegal activities during his testimony at the Matlanga Commission. Khumalo named 2 members of the cartel, businessman Vuzimuzi Cathy Mohlahlana, who's accused of attempted murder, and Katiso Cathy Mohlahlana, who's been charged with murder. The other 3 names have not yet been made public. Sibiya began testifying before the ad hoc committee yesterday.
The Big Five that is being spoken about is not there. And if it is indeed true, it is there, it exists, why are they not being arrested for drugs or for whatever reasons it may be? But personally, I'm not involved in the Big Five. I don't know the Big Five. So I'm just saying, you ask a simple question, are there cartels or are there factionalism in the South African Police Service? I'm tempted to say yes, but I think it's better left to this committee to look at what is happening after our presentation and decide on that stage.
The death toll in the bus crash on the N1 near Louis Trichardt in Limpopo has risen to 43. This was confirmed by the Limpopo Premier, Popi Ramathuba. The bus, which was reportedly travelling from Gqeberha to Zimbabwe and Malawi, veered off the road and down an embankment on Sunday evening. Ramathuba expressed his sadness over the death of another passenger.
It has been a difficult past 2 nights. What we can indicate is that, unfortunately and regrettable so, out of the death toll, we have now increased from 1 last night, bringing the total number of the death as a result of this fatality to 43. This one is a male patient who was amongst the 6 priority one. Those that we indicated were very critical. So unfortunately, he passed on last night.
And finally, students have been ordered to vacate the Qwaqwa campus of the University of the Free State within 24 hours. Student protests started last week following the university's decision to scrap provisional registrations as of next year. Aggrieved students say this will exclude underprivileged students from accessing higher education. UFS SRC's Deputy President Tabang Molakeng elaborates.
Currently, what is happening at the University of the Free State, in the morning, the resident students received the emails stating that they must vacate campus within 24 hours, meaning after 24 hours, they are going to be removed from their residence. And also the South African Police Service, as well as the private security company that is hired by the institution, they are hindering students from entering campus.
Recapping the top story, the Gauteng Health Department's HOD, Lesiba Malotana, has been suspended. Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi has placed him on suspension with immediate effect and has appointed Dr. Darian Barkley to act in his position. For SFM News, I am Anne Musa.
The Talking Point with Cathy Mohlahlana. Weekdays, 9 a.m. till midday.
Mzansi Powerball has skyrocketed to a mind-blowing 140 million rand estimated jackpot this Tuesday. You heard right. Play Powerball for an estimated 140 million rand today and stand a chance to win the life-changing jackpot. Buy your tickets now in-store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529# for USSD. Panda Pusha Play. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. Ituba is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
The Talking Point with Cathy Mohlahlana. Weekdays, 9 a.m. till midday.
Economic freedom in your life. I'm joking. I'm going to take the first round. Obviously, I'll be doing, but we'll do 2 rounds. So we'll do the 20 minutes and then we'll do a second round for 10. Can we agree to that, please?
Honorable Matthys, you are an alternate member in this committee.
But I'm full today.
Today you are a full member, and when you are a full member,
because I'm an alternate, when you are a full member,
when you are a full member, you forfeit the status of being an alternate.
Yeah, but I thought you'd just be nice.
So
because
let me allocate. You know I'm a benevolent chairperson.
Yes, that's what I'm counting on, Chair.
And then we will come to that discretion in the event. I'm satisfied that you deserve it.
Okay, but Chair, can we agree though, right? We're getting 30 minutes regardless, right? So I'm saying
Yeah.
we can go 20
Yeah.
and then we can use the other 10 to wrap up.
You have 30 minutes. If you use 20 or 25 and say, I would like to use the 5 minutes later, it's still okay.
Okay. But I can see that you are going to give me the 10 minutes for the alternate. I feel it. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, look, that is a very strong feeling. I cannot take that feeling away from you. Honorable Sols, Honorable Mwango, the IFP is going to be you. Honorable Sols, the PA is going to be you. And the Freedom Front Plus will be you, Honorable Vessels. And the Action SA will be you, Honorable James. So, Honorable Skosana, after you have spoken, we will determine if we, no, you said the MKP is going to be you, and I see Honorable Shongwe has moved in. Is he forfeiting his minutes as an alternate or what? Or is going to be you and him? Or,
no.
Or him and you?
Yeah, it's going to be me, and then followed by that 20 minutes for Honorable Shongwe.
No,
and then in the second round...
Not 20 minutes.
Oh. Okay,
not
yes.
20 minutes.
And then the last round would be Honorable Nomvalo.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, honorable members, it will then be Honorable Sokhanyile, Honorable Ngola, Honorable Skosana, and Honorable Shongwe for the first round. Surely, after Honorable Shongwe, we should take a comfort break. So, Honorable Shongwe, the keys to our break, I'm giving you the keys, and help us to have that comfort. Honorable Sokhanyile, your time starts now.
Thank you very much. Honorable Chairperson, let me greet you, the honorable members. Let me greet you, General Spear. Together with the officials and also the people of South Africa who are listening to this ad hoc committee today. General Spear, I will go straight, I will zoom to your previous work employment that you did specifically with the city of Johannesburg. On paragraph 21, you have said that in your statement on the 8th of November 2016, you were appointed by the city of Johannesburg to head up its group forensic investigation services. So you were responsible for that unit. Was the unit an existing unit in the SAPS, or it was a new unit that were established with the city of Johannesburg when you were employed in 2016?
Thank you, Chair. After I lost my job from the city of Joburg, I was at home doing my small projects. I saw an advert. It was advertised that they are looking for to establish a city's forensic department that is meant to fight maladministration, theft of city assets, fraud and corruption in the city, the hijacked properties and that. So I also showed interest and I applied, like many others applied. I applied and then I was called for interviews and I got the job. And at that time, there was no group forensics in the city of Joburg, but there was an audit section within group risk and assurance. They call it JIRAS within the city. So they were also conducting investigations on the other hand, but under like audit, they were not doing like forensic investigations per se. However, they were contracted to many service providers that are in the city's database, such as your KPMG, all the different forensic investigative and the law firms that conducted the investigations on behalf of the city. So the then mayor felt that, but they want to have a forensic department that conduct investigation that must fight corruption, fraud and corruption in the city, theft of the city's asset and maladministration. Remember in the city of Joburg, at that point in time when I was just starting, there were so many, I just don't have the figures now, but there were so many buildings, properties that are hijacked, where the owners were complaining left, right, and center that their properties have been hijacked and they were no longer even having access into. So I had to start a department that will actually focus specifically on fighting crime that is being committed in the city and against the city.
Okay. Then, in fact, you have said that you saw the advert through in the newspaper.
Yeah, it was advertised. Yes, it was advertised.
You applied,
yes,
like
applied.
anybody.
Yes.
Went to interviews.
Yes.
Okay. But you left the city of Joburg being accused of fraud and corruption. And this unit that you set up, it was there to combat fraud and corruption. But you left the city of Johannesburg under the dark cloud, being accused of fraud and corruption. Am I correct?
You are not correct. I resigned from the city of Joburg.
There was no case against you of corruption and fraud or anything that comes nearer to you that the city of Joburg said you have done. For instance, that involves an amount of 3.5 million of unlawful benefit.
No. In the city of Joburg, it's a political space. It's all the political parties fighting each other in council. If this party is fighting that party of the former mayor Herman Mashaba, others are fighting that party, others are fighting group forensics, because there were those that were believing that group forensics had been established by the former mayor Herman Mashaba so that it can be used against them. So they would open cases, many would open cases that are not really cases that make sense, because if there is any fraud and corruption, and it was reported to the police and it has got evidence, I would have been arrested by now. It would have been, I mean, it's how many years I've been back into the police? Where's that case now? So it was neither here nor there. It's just on a daily basis you would face, there are those who will tell you that I was illegally appointed, but I was appointed, approved by council. Matters were investigated by the public protector, cleared. There will those who tell you that I procured spying equipment, but and then even go to an extent of writing to the public protector. Public protector cleared. They wrote to to the IGI. The IGI said, but it must be investigated by the SSA. The SSA comes and say, no. We saw these things. There's no spying equipment here. And even these things that were procured here cannot be even repurposed for anything. It's a report that comes from SSA. Now, what I'm saying is that this is a political environment, and if someone goes and opens a case against you and there's a case, act on it, and it never happened.
Okay. So there was no case that was opened for that. Even the equipment, because I was going to come for that equipment that we're talking about, an irregular expenditure that was incurred by the city of Johannesburg because of the equipment, procurement of the intelligence gathering equipment.
No.
There's nothing like that during your era.
Let me respond. There is nothing like that. Honorable members, when you say you are a world-class city, and then I say the city of Joburg is the mega city in Africa, and we've got a forensic department that is not able and capable, how do we make the city to be able and capable? How do we make the city to be able to carry itself in terms of the investigations? Now, I said, you know what, I worked for the Scorpions. They had a unit called KICO, Crime Information Collection Unit. In the Hawks, they have PCMC, Priority Crime Management Center, Information Management Center. Now, I needed an instrument that when I walk into the war room, I can see what is happening in the city at once. And that being the case, what you do is that we need technology. We need to invest in technology. Even the police now, they're saying we need to invest in technology. You need a situation where the city's got, I think, 13 departments and 23 entities or vice versa, but that is the numbers. I must know the crimes that are being committed at revenue services, at water affairs, water department, at J-Water or at Zoo, or at City Power. In those respective environments, I must know the type of crimes that are being committed there, but I must also check on the modus operandi of this crime that is being committed here. Is similar to this one, similar to this one, and who are the role players that are coming in. So if you don't have technology that assists you to be able to get that type of information all at once, I must know that how many cities' properties, how many buildings in the city are hijacked, so that we put the red dot in those that are hijacked, so that when I look at the wall must tell me that here is a cluster of hijacked properties. That building and that property and that property, they are hijacked. This one's the police have acted, and this one what you label them in red, green, and yellow. And the yellow will have its own status. Green, it has been arranged, it's in court, and this one is foreigners mainly. And so that what you need to do is you plan your operations according to what the system tells you, that you've got so many buildings that are hijacked. And then you must be able to know that who's behind the hijacking. Is it the same group of people, or you have different numbers of people? So this is just technology. So now, what is worse that we need to understand, honorable members? In the city, I will never wake up and sign a check and go and procure something. You make an application that must go right up through the budget steering committee, and right up to the council where maybe something gets approved. But above all, the person who complains that I procured spying equipment, it is his wife who procured those spying equipment, working for the city of Joburg. So this thing of making allegations for the sake of making allegations because you want to taint a person, they don't really work. That is why nothing happened to today, and nothing will happen ever.
Okay. in your statement, and even
Honorable Sokanyile. General, who is the person accusing you of buying spying equipment?
Initially, I do know that the former city manager, Fred Brank, was the one who was accusing me, and then supported by a gentleman called Mesuli Mlandu. And this Mesuli Mlandu is a guy who was fired from Eastern Cape and then was employed in Ekurhuleni, was fired from Ekurhuleni, and then he started accusing and running after the former minister of Ekurhuleni, Mondli Gungubele. You can check the articles. So himself, there were investigations running against him. How we got to be on the other side and started attacking me and challenging me and fighting me is because there came an instruction that say all senior managers of the city needs to be vetted. When we sent a team down there and say, we are told this man was fired in the city of, in Eastern Cape. He started saying, no, I'm conducting clandestine investigations against him. They are not clandestine investigations. Everybody must just submit the Z04, 204 papers so that everybody can be vetted. But he didn't want to be vetted at all. And above all, there were investigations that were registered where he assisted in the employment of a lady called Anela Kwababa, who had the qualifications of being a registered nurse somewhere there, because she created the impression that she's got HR-related qualifications when she did not have HR qualifications. Even now, I think she doesn't have, but this is a person who's occupying the most high position in terms of HR-related. So there are other people who think because of how forceful they are, how powerful they are, how strong they are in terms of character, they can force their way through and get what they want. And you will realize that even in the city.
I think I'm fine with that.
Thank you.
So did these accusations happen when you were still their colleague?
Yes.
You had not left the city?
No, they happened whilst I was in the city and they were investigated and I was cleared. They even attempted to stop their powers for group forensics to investigate. I went to court, the court ruled in my favor. All these things were investigated. I'm very much concerned when they are trying to get this again through the back door and have this thing resuscitated within the commission.
Are you saying Honorable Sokanyile is a backdoor?
No, this is a dead thing that needs to remain dead. They shouldn't be bringing this. You know, when Ntantam Kwanazi was talking about state capture, he was talking in a sense, not state capture, when he was talking about...
No, it's fine. I don't want you to debate the questions. I just wanted to clarify. And remember, this clarity emanates from the statements that you made yourself, that I did not buy spy equipment, but the person who accuses me of buying spy equipment, it was his wife who bought those equipments.
Yeah, the equipment that were procured. His wife was part of the steering committee, and her signature is also there.
Thank you.
No, it worries me.
Honorable Sokanyile.
Yeah, it worries me.
I'm sorry to interrupt
okay, no, it's
you.
fine.
I just wanted to
you
clarify
assisted
that
me
you
because
can
I was
proceed.
going to
Thank you.
ask about Mlandu. I'm from Eastern Cape in Tata.
He was fired in the Eastern Cape. Even in
No,
no, it's fine. It's fine.
No, look.
No, you know,
General, don't be agitated.
Yeah. No. I'm not trying to put things behind or putting things through the back door. I'm just looking because when we were in the city of Johannesburg trying to combat fraud and corruption, there are these allegations. Now, you went back to SAPS. There are allegations. For instance, Brown Mukhotsi, you said he came to your office and to inquire about supply chain. Why would he go to your office, Brown Mukhotsi, on a supply chain related issue, not going to manage a supply chain, for instance, a senior person in the supply chain, or the national commissioner?
May I ask the honorable member to rephrase her question because she's put facts upside down.
Oh, okay. Mukhodzi, Matlala, they're one and the same people. I'm saying that you said yesterday, it's Matlala went to your office to ask about a supply chain related issue. Then I'm asking why not go to a supply chain person?
Just hold it there, Honorable Sokhanyi. Honorable Novalo.
Chair, I thought you were going to call the witness into order. The manner he has addressed the member is unwarranted and undesirable. To say a member has put herself upside down, what is that? You've got a responsibility to protect members and witnesses who must engage each other with respect here.
Yeah, he said the question. I think he might have wanted to say the facts have been mixed.
Yeah.
And I think the member understood it because instead of mentioning the name of Matlala or Mr. Matlala, she mentioned Mr. Mkhodzi. But the witness understood the context to that the member wanted to ask about Mr. Matlala. And that is why, look, we can pardon him for the language used. I don't think it was intentional. He would have wanted to assist the member to say, but it's like your facts are mixed. If we can have the facts reorganized. And for that, I did not fault him. You can proceed, Honorable Sokhanyi.
No, I'm fine.
May I apologize if this is how it came out, because I didn't want to use the word the honorable member confuses the thing. It would have been more, it would sound like I'm saying the honorable member is confused, so I didn't have the right word, but I apologize. I'm ready for the question, Honorable.
Accepted.
Thank you.
You can answer.
What was the question?
I was saying that you had a meeting with Mr. Matlala about a supply chain related issue who came to complain. Then I'm asking, you didn't refer Mr. Matlala to a person responsible or a senior person in the supply chain department or the national commissioner? Why didn't you do so?
Honorable Chair and members, when you are or you have been awarded a tender by the South African Police Service, which have gone past supply chain. Now, the next level to complain if there is an issue was the logical thing to go to the National Commissioner of the South African Police Service. This is what he did. He went to the National Commissioner of the South African Police Service, which in that case, I was acting in that capacity.
Then, the meeting that you had with Brown Mukhodzi, discussing some of the issues, you said Brown Mukhodzi, you knew him from Northwest, he's an activist. Then you said yourself You don't belong to any political party. But you are meeting this, you met this activist and you knew Brown Mokhotsi because he's an activist. Am I correct?
Yes, I said that. Not because he's an activist. I know him as an activist in Northwest.
Then most of the meetings that you held, either Brown Mokhotsi or Cathy Mohlahlana, were work-related meetings, surely.
In relation to Brown, I would say work-related. But if a person says, "I'm coming, are you in Camps Bay?" I'll come and greet you, because that's the only time I met him. And the second time, when he said, "I'm in Gauteng, I'm coming to consult. Are you around?" And I said, "Yes, I'm at my lawyer's as well. Okay, I'll see you when I break." And we just greet.
The work-related ones now, the outcomes of the work-related meetings, have you ever reported them to your senior, who happens to the National Commissioner? Have you ever reported the outcomes of those meetings? No. And reported that you met so and so because of this and that?
Firstly, I indicated yesterday that the moment I got these calls from Brown Mokhotsi, I said to the National Commissioner, "There's a strange call that I found from a person who called himself Brown. But he was telling me more about me being careful, that crime intelligence is following me and they are working on me and all those things." And then he said, "No, continue meeting him, and where possible, you can even record him." But it didn't go to a point where I recorded him.
You know, I didn't hear clearly. Can you repeat?
Chair, General Sibia is not audible. We can't hear him. If you can just speak closer to the mic.
Thank you.
Can you repeat your answer? I didn't hear clearly.
I don't know if I still remember the trail of thought, but what I heard was, did you inform your National Commissioner? And I said, it was not a meeting per se, but I did inform the National Commissioner. The very first time around, I received a call from Brown, that I received a strange call from a person who called himself Brown, but he was telling me about that I must be careful, I'm being followed, I'm being listened to, which was the case. And said, "These people are working against you because they want to push you out." That's what he said to me initially. And then I did tell the National Commissioner, I said, no, keep on listening to him. And it wasn't a subject to really take any further.
And then thereafter, you knew Brown Mokhotsi because you are saying that you told the National Commissioner that you got a call from a person you didn't know.
Yes. And as he phones, I took the calls.
When you said yesterday, your hatred or the hatred, the presumed hatred between yourselves and General Mkhwanazi, you saw it, it was there. Is that the reason why you had to communicate with the junior officials in KZN instead of a provincial commissioner?
Those are two different things, Honorable Member. The hatred is something that has been displayed over time until now, and why I communicated with Deputy Provincial Commissioner. I'm the Deputy National Commissioner of Crime Detection. I am allowed to speak to a Deputy Provincial Commissioner of Crime Detection. That's the first part. But the second part is that because when I speak to General Mkhwanazi, when I call him, many a times I call him when the relationship was all fine. You will call him, you won't find him because mostly he's engaged in meeting, whether he's engaged in a meeting with executive, business forum, or taxi people, but he's mostly involved in meetings. Now, he's the kind of a person who, when he's chairing a meeting, he will never take a phone and answer to your phone, but he will definitely come back to you much later. Now, I'm sitting here in making sure that since the minister said, may I see the team tomorrow so that I can brief them, I can hear what happened and how they got there. The minister didn't want to interfere, but remember that he is the minister of police. He get asked, he conduct a lot of interviews. He want to be able to account or to speak about it. So he said, can you get me the team to come and brief me so that I get to hear how we got here? And me trying to speak to General Mkopozi to arrange and also to please inform the PC on my behalf. Like it happens in many other provinces, I never thought General Mkhwanazi will actually take it too hard like he did. Similar situations have happened in Mpumalanga. Similar situations happened in Mpumalanga where the National Commissioner wanted to meet the team that was involved in a particular, I think it was a case where we found a arms cache or the one of Piet Retief where councillors were killed and a good job was done, but the National Commissioner wanted them to come and brief him. Now, as a result, I communicated to the brigadier, and then the PC called me and said, how? Now you are calling my people and me you are leaving behind. And these are my people. I say, General, please, I apologize. I should have started by you. And she said, no, I understand. Please, General, come with them. And she came, we interacted with them, but I apologized. And it was really not war like it is still today, just for the fact that I didn't speak to you directly, I spoke to someone who's your deputy. So it differs from character to character, from person to person. But it happens on a daily basis with all the provinces.
Okay. No, thank you very much. Thank you, General.
Thank you very much.
Before, General, you confirmed the display of hatred towards you.
That's correct, Chair.
Okay, thank you so much. Honorable Ngola.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Chair, let me start with a disclaimer that I'm also from the Eastern Cape, and I am here not because I was fired there.
Yeah, but before, Honorable Sokanyile said she wanted to ask about that person from the Western Cape, who the general has said that he or she was fired.
Yeah, Chair, that's why I'm saying I'm from the Eastern Cape.
No, I'm just checking with her. Are you no longer asking that question, or because you had promised the general that you're going to ask him?
No. I'm no longer going to ask
Okay.
because he has reflected how they hated him also.
Okay. Yeah, my apologies, Honorable Ngola.
Thanks, Chair. Thanks, Chair. Chair, General, good morning. We are going to, I've sectorized my questions in two. The first emanate from the answers you have given yesterday to the evidence leader. And the second emanate from the statement you deposed to this committee. One, I want you to confirm to the committee that the answers you gave yesterday are to the best of your information and they are not a bad denial. Do you confirm?
Make me understand, Chair, because when the honorable member says the answers I gave versus the affidavit I deposed, they are not a bad denial. Can the honorable member take me to a specific point?
I'm saying, leave the statement for now. We'll come to the statement. I'm saying you have been asked the whole day by the evidence leader yesterday. You have provided answers.
Yes.
And in your statement, you said you confirm that the information you are to give is to the best of your knowledge.
That's correct.
So I'm asking that do you confirm on record that all the answers that you would have given to the ad hoc committee yesterday are the best of the knowledge that you have and not a bad denial?
That is correct.
Thank you. Your boss, General Masemola, deposed a statement in this committee. And one of the provisions in the statement said there was a meeting between him, General Khumalo, and the Minister of Police that declared you a rogue police officer. Are you a rogue police officer?
I've never been one in my 37 years old in the service.
So you deny the allegations?
I deny that, and they must prove that.
Okay. So you receive a call from a gentleman by the name of Brown Mokhotsi, who comes and meets with you in a hotel in Camps Bay. You dine together. He divulges an intelligence information to you, an alleged plot to oust you or something. But didn't it concern you as a Deputy National Commissioner of the South African Police Service that a civilian comes to you as a boss of an institution and gives you an information about your intelligence services? Did it not concern you?
What concerns me is the fact that he was telling me something about I know, and in that regard, I work with information. I've got people who are my informers, I have people who are whistleblowers. I deal with information. So even if I am concerned, the only thing I can do is to either speak to the National Commissioner, or where the National Commissioner is involved, I'll speak to the Deputy Ministers.
No. We understand clearly that crime intelligence has got what they call community intelligence, where they use the to tackle crime. They use information they get from community members, which is fair. This is a different discourse, General. This person comes to you as a Deputy National Commissioner, brings an information about your intelligence services, not about what is happening in the community that will help you execute the mandate that you have. So this is different. I agree. It is important that you work with communities, get information. But this is different. A civilian comes to you, gives you information about your intelligence services. Did it not concern you that how did a civilian get hold of this kind of information as a person given a responsibility to manage and control the police service?
No, it didn't concern me.
Why?
Because when someone comes to you with information that helps your cause, you do give attention to such information. I cannot be worried about the fact that this person is giving me information that is actually saying to me, look over your back. I can't be worried about such.
So intelligence formation of the countries that is lingering among community members doesn't worry you as a Deputy National Commissioner. Is that what you are saying?
That is the most concern that we must raise within the intelligence structure.
I'm talking about you, General, as a Deputy National Commissioner. So it does not concern you that an information that is supposed to be in the custody of intelligence services is lingering around community members. It does not confirm. Is that your evidence that you are not concerned when intelligence information is lingering around community members?
Of course, I am concerned if ever a member of the public will have information, in particular documents that belongs to intelligence. It is a cause for concern. But if it is information that relates to the security that affects me, or you just giving me information as a whistleblower, it happens on a daily basis from many angles of the country where you get such information. People on the ground do come across information, and people do report right up to the highest office. They report, they bring information.
Okay, Chair, I think let's just note that the first General Sbia was not concerned, and on the second, General Sbia was concerned. What did you do with that information?
It's information that says watch over your back. And then what I did is, sometimes I approach the National Commissioner. Sometimes I did speak to General Kumar and say, I understand there is one of the senior managers who's going around here and saying, I'm going to arrest your boss, or we intend to arrest so and so and so and so. And at some point, it's even journalists where they want a journalist to run a story that says General Sbia's arrest is imminent, and they want a journalist to run that story. And then I have a lot of AI generated TikTok messages about me. So you find that when you Google me or when you go into TikTok, you find that there is thousands of negative messages, or they will take my message and turn it replicates into many messages.
The question, General, was that what did you do about that information?
What did I do about the information? I use it to my advantage to make sure that I survive.
Okay. Are you in constant contact with Mr. Brown Mahotsa?
Not on a daily basis,
but you are communicating.
I am communicating.
About issues relating to the police service?
No, not about issues related to the
issues
in general.
Okay. No, that's fine. Let's take back what Honorable Sokanyile was asking you. Mr. Mohlahlana finds difficulties in operating in terms of the work that he was given. Comes to your office for the first time.
Yes.
Then you say beyond that, was the account that you have told us is that he came to ask about his tender issue where he found difficulties. You were acting national commissioner then. But you continue to say you have met him for about 5 times or less.
Yeah.
And you moreover say all this fracas happens when you are about to know him more, or when you are about to know each other more. Is it a general practice in the police service that the top brass of the service has got direct contact and direct relationship with service providers? And how many service providers do have the same relationship that you have with Mr. Mohlahlana in the SAPS?
What I know is that Mr. Mohlahlana is a well-known person in the service, in the police. As you can see at some point right from the minister downward.
Let's talk about you, General.
No, I'm just saying, you ask, the honorable member asked a question whether is there a general practice in the police. Now, I'm saying it is a general practice in the police because it's a service provider, it's a stakeholder. Whether you're talking about Old Mutual, you're talking Metropolitan, you're talking about many other, they, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, they find themselves in the same space. They are known to each other. That is why they gave him a tender to operate in the college where the National Commissioner is. And there was no problem that the National Commissioner saw himself on Mr. Mohlahlana there. There was no issue because at that point in time, nobody knew about Mr. Mohlahlana's involvement in any crime. Because if they knew, and I'm the only one who's actually working with him, it would have been understood or understandable. But in this case, I also take it that even the National Commissioner or any other person there didn't know.
Do you know where Mr. Mohlahlana resides?
No.
You have never been in his homestead?
No.
Okay, that's not right. Let's go back to the entire fracas about the dissolution of the PKTT and stuff. Do you think that political killings are still prevalent in the political system in South Africa?
Do I?
Do you think that in the political system of South Africa, we are daily still experiencing political killings?
Yes, but at a much lower rate
than it was before.
Than it was before.
Do you think that was the impact of the PKTT?
At that point in time, yes.
No, I'm saying general. Do you think that political killings are still prevalent in our political system? You say yes, but in a much lower rate. Yes. Do you think that that much lower rate is as a result of the work that was done by the political killings task team?
I agree.
You agree? Yes. Do you think that it is quite warranted that such a working political killing task team be dissolved? What is your view as a deputy national commissioner now? Analyzing the situation, seeing this team that you agree here under oath that is working hard. Do you think it was a proper decision to proceed with this dissolution given what you have just told us?
Personally, and looking at what the South African Police Services embarked on themselves, they embarked on a journey to dissolve the task teams and to make sure that they establish specialized units that will take care of, including, among others, political killings.
No. General, we are talking about one letter here. I hear you are bringing an overall approach over task teams. Here, what brings us here today is the letter of the 31st of December 2024. And that letter only speaks about the political killings task team. So, you are saying, in your view, political killings are still prevalent, and the political killings task team has done a tremendous job in reducing political killings in South Africa. Now, the question still is, do you think then, therefore, that it's a proper, well-calculated decision, given these circumstances, to dissolve it?
Honorable Chair, I'm saying still, they said to the House Portfolio Committee Chairperson that they have achieved the purpose for which they were established. They have stabilized all the districts except only a eThekwini district. Now, we can't keep them only to attend to only one district now. I said yesterday, go to El Dorado Park, go to Westbury, go to Hanover Park, Manninberg, all those dangerous areas, Cape Flats, where people are dying every day. Let us refocus the energy and the resources and the budget to where they are needed. And we don't say political killing task team must die. We're saying we have now come up with a work study that says they must fall under murder and robbery unit so that the whole country can have a benefit of the expertise, to have expertise throughout the country to be able to fight this type of cases. Any murder, taxi violence murder, serial murder, police killings, if it falls under murder and robbery unit, that has got a pool of excellence within it, they will be able to operate throughout the country. But you don't need to have a small group of people based in KZ and to take over the whole country.
Okay.
Yeah, just to hold it there. General, when you say that we are saying that the resources that we have deployed to the PKTT must fall under, you say, murder and robbery unit. Is that what is contained in the letter that was written by the minister dissolving the PKTT?
Yes.
Okay.
And also when you look at the work study they did, it says that they must fall under murder and robbery unit. And it is also what they presented in Parliament, that it must fall within the murder and robbery unit. So in general, there's no disagreement that they belong This is serious and violent crime that falls under component serious and violent crime. This is where they belong. So we should put structures, permanent structures, and even the CFO commented and say post-elections they must be deactivated. When you look at the elections that passed, there was zero incident. In many times, it is just because of how you deploy. But let us have, throughout the country, structures that are well established to be able to fight that.
Chair, I think let's pass, because what would have been said on the 5th of March in the Portfolio Committee meeting is actually an aftermath of, because the letter predates that meeting. The letter is 31st December 2024. The meeting is 5 March 2025. Now, in this resolution, you proceed with the plan and you sign the plan. General Masemola says, what keeps the status of the political killing system intact is the fact that the minister did not sign his winding down plan. You say in your statement, you have signed the plan. How many plans did you have to dissolve the system?
How many plans?
Plans.
There was one plan that says, as per the directive that I received from the Office of the National Commissioner, is to disband and to deactivate, to communicate the deactivation to the team. That's the communication that I received from the National Commissioner.
Okay.
In our top stories, Madlanga Commission resumes with a new witness and calls on Lesofie to fire the health HOD instead of suspending him. Good morning. The Madlanga Commission has resumed with a new witness known as Mr. X taking the stand. This after an agreement was reached between evidence leaders and media houses, Daily Maverick and News 24, over the opposed bid for in-camera. The evidence leaders have been allowed to present the witness testimony through the voice of an intermediary and without video. The commission was adjourned 2 weeks ago after the crime intelligence head, Dumisani Khumalo, fell ill. The witness has started outlining the scope of the evidence through the voice of a junior counsel, Tabang Pue.
On the 29th and 30th of September 2025, the Divisional Commissioner, Lieutenant General Khumalo, delivered his evidence in the commission, and he had set out that he would present chats between a Mr. Matlala and 5 individuals. The individuals being a Mr. Brown Mokgotsi, Major General Senona, Brigadier Mkhwanazi, Mr. Rafadi, and Mr. Karim. Unfortunately, due to the general falling ill, he could not continue with his testimony. I therefore will present the remaining chats in that aspect.
The Forum for South Africa has called on Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesofie to fire the Provincial Health and Wellness Head of Department, Dr. Lisiba Mohlahlana, instead of suspending him. This comes after Lesofie's office announced that he has been suspended with immediate effect. In a statement, the Premier said Dr. Darian Barkley has been appointed to act in his position. Leader of Forum for South Africa, Tebogo Mashilompane, says Mohlahlana's suspension is long overdue.
The Forum for South Africa welcomes the long overdue suspension of Lisiba Mohlahlana. It is without doubt that under his leadership, tender corruption manifested. As a result, lives were lost. The attitude and posture of corruption at the Gauteng Health must cease to exist. FOSA therefore call on the Premier Panyaza Lesofie to not be lenient towards the HOD. Instead, he must fire him so that a strong message can be sent to all corrupt individuals across the province.
Limpopo Premier Poppy Ramathuba says the process of identifying the deceased passengers from the bus crash on the N1 near Louis Trichardt in Limpopo will begin tomorrow. The bus, which was reportedly travelling from Gqeberha to Zimbabwe and Malawi, veered off the road and down an embankment, resulting in the deaths of 43 people. Ramathuba has appealed to family members of the victims to come forward.
We have already started to make a call to the families, those that knows that their loved ones were in the bus, to contact Dr. Rally Jiba from Louis Trichardt Hospital, who is our center, so that he can be able to check if it's one of the admitted or patient or survivors, or if it's one of the deceased. So tomorrow we'll be starting with the postmortems. We are saying families must come, and then we start to do that identification.
The Portfolio Committee on Higher Education and Training has condemned what it calls the thuggish and barbaric conduct of private security guards at the University of the Free State. Committee Chairperson Tebogo Litsie says violence against protesting students has no place in institutions of higher learning. He warned the use of heavily armed private security on campuses only heightens fear and tension among students and staff. This follows clashes between students and security personnel at the UFS Qwaqwa campus last night. There's been celebrations across Israel and Palestinian territories, with yesterday's hostage and prisoner exchanges marking a significant step towards ending 2 years of war in Gaza. In a crucial stage of the ceasefire agreement, almost 2,000 Palestinians were released from Israeli jails. In return, the remaining 20 living Israeli hostages held by Hamas have returned home. The BBC's Barbara Platt-Usher reports.
It started very early this morning, the hostages on the move out of Gaza. 20 in all, including a musician, twin brothers who'd been held separately, and a father of 2 little girls, Omri Miran. Each one an emotional reunion, hugging each other as if they wouldn't let go. For Palestinians, too, there were tearful reunions. Nearly 2,000 prisoners and detainees released. In Israel, some waiting for the remains of their loved ones were disappointed. Only 4 bodies were returned. More should come in the days ahead.
Recapping the top story, the Madlanga Commission has presumed with a new witness known as Mr. X taking the stand. This after an agreement was reached between evidence leaders and media houses, Daily Maverick and News 24, over the opposed bid for in-camera sessions. For SAFM News, I am Anne Musa.
SAFM 104 to 107 nationwide.
Hi everyone, my name is Itumele Nkune, SABC Sport football analyst. When I feel down and I listen to gospel, it gives me motivation. I'm a person who loves all genres. If I was a chef, my favorite meal that I would prepare would be pap, cabbage, meaty bones, with a bit of acha on the side. My favorite language is Portuguese. Bom dia, como está? Estou bem. What I like about SABC Sport is they give you the platform and the permission to be yourself and speak any language.
Catch the ever-passionate Itumele Nkune's analysis of Bola Leju on match days, live on Latuma. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
For the love of the game.
Youth football is on a real vibration in Chile.
24 under-20 national teams are fighting for the ultimate glory.
Rally behind African champions, Amachita,
including 3 continental representatives:
Egypt, Morocco, and Nigeria.
This is the
2025 FIFA Under-20 World Cup.
Catch the action live on SABC 1, SABC Plus, SABC Sport on DTT Channel 4, and SABC radio stations from 27 September to 20 October 2025. Proudly brought to you
by SABC Sport.
For the love of the game.
Gordon Ramsay is back, and your favorite kitchen disasters are still somehow in business. New season, same confused chefs, terrifying walk-ins, and enough grease to fry your Wi-Fi. Watch as Gordon tries to fix the unfixable with nothing but sheer rage, British sarcasm, and an iron stomach. Kitchen Nightmares Season 8, Wednesdays at 6 p.m. on S3. Come for the food, stay for the emotional damage.
Doing the right thing just got more rewarding from the 8th to the from the 8th October to the 31st December. When you pay your SABC TV license, we'll say thank you with a 50 Rand grocery voucher and more. It's our way of celebrating you for helping us to keep local stories and talent alive. Pay, wait for your SMS, and follow the instructions to claim your reward. Make sure your contact details are up to date so we can send your prize straight to you. TV licenses, pay yours, make a difference.
The Talking Point with Cathy Mohlahlana. Weekdays, 9 a.m. till midday.
Who will be accountable to the relevant divisional and provincial commissioners until final arrangements are communicated. Now, case handing over. Comprehensive handover protocol for all ongoing investigation must be established and implemented in consultation with the Divisional Commissioner for Detective and Forensic Service. This protocol should include complete case files, evidence, and related documentation. Additionally, detailed records of all handover investigations must be maintained and appended to the final report. Assignment of cases. And as you can see, it's talking about the final report, which means the report is still coming at some point, but we are not yet there. Assignment of cases. All case dockets must be hand-delivered to a location designated by the Divisional Commissioner for Detective and Forensic Service, who must establish a secure repository for case files and evidence to ensure continuity and prevent any loss or tampering. These dockets will then be reallocated to appropriate investigation unit within the capacity to continue the investigation. The point that I want to raise in this paragraph, it says, they must be delivered to a location designated by the Divisional Commissioner for Forensics, not to my office. The second point that I want to indicate here is that the docket will then be reallocated to appropriate investigative unit with the capacity to continue, as they indicated even in Parliament that they will take them to murder and robbery unit, and this is what is supported by the work study investigation that has been approved by the National Commissioner himself on the 6th of June 2025. Personnel redeployment. The PKTT members must be reassigned to other units within SAPS in consultation with the Divisional Commissioner for Detective and Forensic Service and other relevant divisional and provincial commissioners. Detailed record of deployment personnel must be maintained and apprehended to final report. To me, the SAPS was going to benefit from these members because wherever they go, they will re-establish the same time of approach, but the country will benefit. Equipment and vehicles redistribution. All equipment vehicles allocated to the NTKPP must be redistributed to other units within the South African Police Service in consultation with the Divisional Commissioner for Detective and Forensic Service and other relevant divisional and provincial commissioners. Detailed record of redistribution resources must be maintained and appended to the final report. You can imagine how many vehicles were bought. Millions of rands were bought for this PKTT, but if those cars, those resources were to be redistributed to fight the crime, be it in KZN is still fine, or to the murder and robbery unit, so that the same work can continue. Stakeholder communications. All internal and external stakeholders must be notified in writing about disbandment of the NTKPT, the transition plan for ongoing cases, and the future protocol. Now, here we are saying we must remember that General Mkhwanazi suggested that the NPA were not informed, but here...
General, I thought that when you made reference to that piece of evidence, you will say to the member, there is this memorandum that was in circulation in the police services, is dated 2025, March or April, and the key areas that I want to bring to the attention of the member are the following. That is why I made that intervention, so that you must not leave here saying, I wanted to bring the following information to the attention of the members, but it's like they were not interested. Because you can imagine if you read that letter from beginning to end, I don't know. What are the areas of emphasis?
Chair, it's only 2 pages that is left, and they are not many, they are just short sentences. But what is important is also for the public to know that every step was taken to make sure that these doctors are not going to suffer, and there's a clear plan on the table on how to deal with this, because the political killing task team, it cannot live forever. It should not be a permanent structure. It's a task team.
And that helps to answer the question of the member. Remember, the question is that you must demonstrate that there were no two plans.
Yes.
Between the police commissioner and yourself.
Actually, Chair, we passed that. We're on the part where I'm asking if DPCI, NPA, and crime intelligence were consulted. I think the party is reading that all stakeholders must be notified through writing. I think we can take it from there now.
Okay.
Okay, so I must stop.
No.
Can I finish?
He wants to hear the part of the stakeholders.
We read past it that says they must be informed. And now this one is a plan that says inform them. This letter was intended to go to the project leader to say the stakeholder, internal and external, must be notified. In other words, the person who had to do it, if it was me, it was going to be like I was forcefully disbanding. But mine was to communicate to the team that had to do it and giving them a roadmap and say, these are the key issues that we must work on.
This letter is signed by you?
It's signed by me. This is the letter that the National Commissioner said you can sign because it's operational. And then it came via a general in the National Commissioner's office to me and said, the NASCOM says you can sign, this is operational, sign. Because I have got an email that comes from the National Commissioner.
But maybe before you proceed with him, because the National Commissioner, when he was here, he says, not once, but on several occasions, I told General Spear that he must stay out of this process, and I will handle it. And I see the letter that you are reading, because I still have another letter here written by yourself, dated April 2022, 22 April 2025. And this is the period that in his testimony, he has said to us that he have warned you in April that you must stay away from the PKTT. But then, maybe before you go back to Honorable Ngola, if you can just take us through that to say, the letters that the reason why I'm asking you who signed the letter, and you say it's you, and I have this other one as well of 22. It has the same topic of, the same subject of deactivation and disbandment of the PKTT, and it's signed by yourself. How do you continue to sign these letters when the National Commissioner says, I have spoken to General Spear and instructed him to get out of the PKTT because from the onset he was never involved. And I also listen to you when you speak here. When they appear before the portfolio committee, you say they, and my understanding is that when you say they, you are not there yourself.
When I say they, Chair, remember at this point in time, we've got General Khumalo and General Masemola, who were presenting. I was part of the whole presentation because, as far as I'm concerned, we are all part of one team.
You were there in that meeting?
I was in that meeting.
Yeah, but when you say it here, you don't say we, you say they.
Because I'm sitting with both General Masemola and Khumalo accusing me of disbanding, but they were the one doing presentation.
I mean, in the meeting of the portfolio committee.
I was there, and then the presentation we own.
Okay, no, it's fine. Let's leave it there. The chair of the portfolio committee is here for sure. These are matters that he will take interest when you. Can you just go back to your communication, your correspondences, and clarify within the context of what Honorable Ngola is asking, to say it appears like there are two parallel processes here, because the commissioner says, I talked General Sibia out of this process, and even reprimanded him. It's what he told us, and for sure this may be some of the reasons leading to your suspension, because it's what he said, that I talked him out of this process. But then it appears like you sign letters, you communicate. And he wants to know, because he says, no, listen, the minister has never signed my winding plan. And here is my deputy, is my colleague, I say, look, wait here, I will handle this. And then you are reading a letter. What is the date of the letter you are reading?
I think it's 17 January.
Yeah, and this one is 22nd April. Help the honorable member to understand. Thank you.
I'm asking, Chair, to just before I get to the honorable member, just to mention two issues. The first issue being, starting from January, when this matter arose, working with the National Commissioner, working smoothly with the National Commissioner, on the 4th of April, the National Commissioner assessing me and in all respect saying competent in everything, then his only concern that he wrote, this is the only concern that he wrote in his performance. Now, it says, the forensic science part of the division, detective and forensics must be paid close attention and their performance to improve. Now, because this is the time where the National Commissioner was supposed to say to me, Chief, you don't listen, you don't do this, and when I say this, you do this, and I want this to improve or this. So I'm bringing this point home that says, no, the bottom line is he assesses me positively because there's no issue.
Yeah, the assessment, we recorded it, the competence and the performance index, how it has improved. You said it in a chapter and verse yesterday. I have everything on record. Go to Honorable Ngola and help him to understand the context.
Honorable Ngola, please take me back to my trailing thought.
Yeah, because you went all over and spoke about assessments and dockets. We have not arrived there. We're going there.
I have to survive.
We passed the issue of the two plans, Chair. Because it is the evidence of the general that, no, they are not two according to his knowledge. It's fine. Let's take it from there. Let's just record it as he says it. So, the letter that he reads speaks about informing stakeholders internally and externally. Because, Chair, when a possibility arises for NPA, DPCI, and crime intelligence to come to this committee, we'll ask them if they know about any plan or any process to disband the political killing system. So I'm asking again to you, General, have you been able to inform those stakeholders of the directive and the plan thereof in respect of the dissolution of the political killing system? I'm asking you as a person who says you received a directive from the Office of the National Commissioner to manage this process. We are doing this, General, so that they don't come here and say, no, we don't know anything about that. So it must be on record that you have informed them that the political killing system has reached its sell-by date.
Chair, that was not my responsibility to do that, to inform the stakeholders. The stakeholders had to be informed by the project manager of the political killing task team. The instruction came that says, communicate this to the relevant team. I did that. Theirs was to start the process and to start running with the baton. Not me running letters all over, writing letters to every stakeholder, to that one and that one, going to see that one, going to meet that one. It was the responsibility of the task team, project leader, to do it.
General, you speak like someone who's operating in a peripheral environment. You are given a responsibility to head an institution as big as SAPS. Beyond that, you are given a responsibility to oversee and preside over a process of dissolving the political systems, didn't you? Was that responsibility not given to you?
That's correct.
Is it not your responsibility to ensure that your subordinates or your juniors do the obligations that they've been given to expedite the process?
That is why I was writing those
But
letters.
you can't say you can't go around with letters. The point here is, you are a boss that's presiding over a process.
Yes.
Now, whoever you have given that obligation of writing a letter is not important for these purposes. But the question is, were the stakeholders informed of the process you presided over?
The stakeholders had to be informed by the project manager, not by myself.
Chair, can I repeat the question? I am not asking who bears the responsibility of informing the stakeholders. Imagine today, the chair gives us, all of us as members, responsibilities one by one. And when the chair is asked outside by the media that, how are you handling this and that? And he says, no, I gave that to Ngola, it's not on me. The point, General, here is that you are presiding over the process now. You give responsibilities to the project manager. So it's upon your obligation to ensure that who you gave a responsibility actually does the responsibility given. Unless you are saying you are not aware whether those stakeholders were informed or not.
Chair, all I know is that the direct instruction from the Office of the National Commissioner says, communicate to the relevant team and to prepare a close-up report. Then come a letter of the 17th that gives a roadmap that says this is what must happen. Inform the internal and stakeholders. This comes from me telling the project manager, inform the internal and external. That's the part that I could play and how far I could go. And
So
that's
you're not aware whether that one you gave a responsibility to inform stakeholders did that responsibility?
I'm not aware.
Okay, let's pass that part. So in your view, what is the status of the political killing system?
Just like General Mkonazi said, it's running, it's up and running.
So it's not dissolved.
It never was.
Okay. The plan was signed.
The plan was signed.
But why was it not dissolved then?
Because General Mkhwanazi says he was not informed, therefore the team is running.
So, according to General Mkhwanazi, is acting against the instructions of the top brass of the service.
Which happened.
Okay. Let's go to dockets. You say you are the custodian of all the dockets in South Africa.
Correct.
But you say there are dockets that you can be unable to account for. How does that happen?
Not that I can be unhappy to account for. That falls under me, but I'm not accounting. I'm expected to account for them, but they are not in my possession.
Okay. Where do you derive these powers of custodianship of dockets?
Can we go to the same letter that gives the powers that was approved by the National Commissioner? That says I just want the page, Chair, that says the Deputy National Commissioner Crime Detection is the custodian of all dockets in the country. In the bundle. Chair, I want to just, legal team, do you know? Evidence leader?
Yes, sir. The witness is.
I want to be able to get to that page that assists me, where it says the Deputy National Commissioner is the one that was even approved by the National Commissioner, because I account for the performance of the detectives even before the Auditor General. And as a result, when we talk about the docket, when you register a case docket, it is for investigation. Once it is for investigation, it falls within my space. Now the docket leading to up until prosecution is my docket as the detective. The uniform in the police station will open a case docket, and then the next person who comes to sign for the docket is a detective. Now the detective is their docket. Yes, it belongs to a station for that station, because when you ask, for an example, you say you open a case in Witbank, it will be Witbank case so-and-so, Midrand case so-and-so, Devon Central case so-and-so. But the dockets belong to those stations, but I am responsible for all the dockets because I account to the Auditor General for all the dockets. I'm saying this now in the absence of the documents I have here. I will come across it now. But all the investigations or investigative processes belong under crime detection, which I'm responsible for. Now, which means that is why I was saying to the National Commissioner, I have dockets that are in uniform, that are at ORS, and the National Commissioner said, no, those detectives must fall under you. I have dockets that are at ID or Hawks. Those dockets, I must account for those dockets. So I'm the custodian of all the dockets.
Okay. I was asking.
Sorry, Chair, I was just trying to.
Let's allow the member to conclude. You will come later.
Not on the docket.
I was asking, where is the power derived from? Is it derived from the employment contract? Is it derived from the policy? Is it derived from legislation? Where is this power of custodianship of all dockets? Is
from the employment contract and from the legislative framework of the detectives.
Okay. Where are the 21 dockets, 121 dockets?
Where are they?
Now, yes.
They are.
I'm asking from the custodian now.
They are I take it that they will be with the political killing task team project manager.
Why were they taken?
They were taken, brought by them to be taken to where they needed to be taken to, which is the specialized unit, murder and robbery unit, which is mandated to investigate political killing task team. Those political, that what they are investigating as a task team, in fact, belongs to murder and robbery unit. They are just a separate structure that is running outside the structure.
Okay, General, you have just confirmed with us now that the political killings task team is up and running. If that's the case, why were 121 dockets taken from the political killings task team that is up and running?
Chair, a decision was taken to disband immediately. And the political killing task team project manager did say that this political killing task team have achieved the purpose for which it was intended for, to stabilize and to fight the killings of the politicians and your traditional leaders and others. Now, when you look at the map, I wish we could display the map. If it's doable, Chair, that what was presented in the to be able to see how they've stabilized. I don't know, Chair, evidence leader, that is it possible to put that document that shows how they have stabilized, all of them green, and then that in fact it shows 1-1, and they said only eThekwini district is the one that is problematic, but the rest, there are no political killing task team anymore. So as a result, it can be used as a benchmark, and that it will be now done in a phase-out approach. It will be taken to murder and robbery unit. This is now General Khumalo saying it will be taken to murder and robbery unit.
Okay, let's leave General Khumalo. Let's leave what General Khumalo says. The letter, because what General Khumalo would have said was actually later than the 31st of December 2024. The letter says, the service of the political killings task team is no longer required because it's no longer adding any value. And you have attested here in front of us that, in your view, the political killings task team has actually been able to down spiral the rate at which political killings happened in South Africa. Now, let's pass this stage, General. Let's go to the letter. I think, Chair, I'm going to this letter. It's on page 20 of the index core bundle. Page 20. I wasn't happy with how the General responded yesterday, and I thought it's fine. Let me not stress. Let me come back to it today. Here, there is an issue about confiscation of Vusumzi Cathy Mohlahlana phone and a cracking of WhatsApp conversations of Vusumzi Cathy Mohlahlana. It is established there that there is a constant communication between Mr. Mohlahlana and Mr. Mohlahlana. It's not between you and them. 2, in this communication, Mr. Mohlahlana, the one you had breakfast with, alleges that he has the message reads like this: I have arranged a meeting for Sibia and the minister. They must have a solution. And it goes down and say the task team that came to your house and harassed you have been and aroused you have been dissolved. So this is a chronological order of the messages between the two. But in that there is confirmation of a person you considered in this meeting that you have had a breakfast with. He says, the person, your breakfast person says, I have arranged a meeting for Sibia and the minister. He goes back down and talk about the dissolution of the PKTT. So this is my question. Has Mr. Mohlahlana and Mr. Mohlahlana influenced the dissolution of the PKTT, as it has been alleged by both the two witnesses that appeared before us? 2, do you have a direct relationship with Mr. Mohlahlana and Mr. Mohlahlana? 3, was there a meeting arranged between yourself, the minister, Mr. Mohlahlana, Mr. Mohlahlana, on the dissolution of the PKTT?
This must be your last 3 questions.
Yeah, but 20 minutes, I'm 30, let's fine.
No. I want you to do this. Do not bombard the witness with questions. Take them one by one.
Okay, that's fine.
As you conclude.
That's fine. Okay, let's take one first, emanating from this that is written here. Can remind you that it's a communication between the two people, and we're not saying we are responsible for that communication. We're saying there is your name dropped there, that I have arranged a meeting with Sibia and the minister. So has there been a meeting arranged between you, the minister, Mr. Mohlahlana, and Mr. Mohlahlana to discuss the...
Never.
Okay.
There was never such a meeting.
Okay. When did you have breakfast again with Mr. Mohlahlana?
I think it was on the 8th of
January.
Of January.
2025.
Yeah, Chair, I may be wrong. He came for the 8th of January meeting. And I take it that it was in the morning. But normally, because of we are working as the South African police, we would wake up early and be on the ground. So I don't know whether it could be before or that, but it did come, I confirm, we met.
When did SAPS raid Mr. Mohlahlana's homestead and confiscate his phone?
They say it's on the 6th
of
December. That's what I read in the statement.
Of December?
Yeah.
Last year?
It was on the 6th of December because in one of the statements that I read, it says it was the raid of the 6th of December that led to the beginning of the disbandment of the justice.
When did Mr. Mohlahlana get arrested? In your knowledge?
Far deep in May.
This year?
This year.
So the breakfast dates the arrest. And these messages are taken on the basis of the arrest and confiscation. So fine, let's leave it general. Let's just leave it there. So General Mkhwanazi alleges that they have scanned, they have audited the dockets to check if they are in the same shape as they were when they were taken. We say I think they found about 5 with some minor deficiencies, with some missing pages and all that. Are you aware of that?
I heard him, but I don't agree with that.
Okay. Let's go to Forte. We have got 4 members of the PKTT whom you allege that they have taken money at some point in the Eastern Cape. Of course, we established that they are not 6 or 10, they are 4. And one amongst them did not take money in terms of your statement. It's page 167, 176 and 177. One of them just got himself some polo neck and a coat, new polo neck and a coat. Now, I want to take us through what is your reading of that. Do you read it as a pure act of bribery and money laundering between police and an accused person? Or do you read it as a covert operation of the police to lay in a suspected individual so that they can be able to arrest him?
It's not how a covert operation works. And it's not even how an undercover operation works to law. It's not how it works completely. It's pure act of criminality.
Okay. Jaram Kwanazi made assertions here saying sometimes covert operations, Chair.
On a point of, not a point of order, just the sound. Please, General, if you could direct General to speak into the mic. Thanks.
Okay. On a point of sound. Thank you.
Clarity.
Now, Jaram Kwanazi came and under oath made statements here that sometimes a covert operation would be them buying a Lamborghini just to infiltrate a Lamborghini club that is suspecting to be involved in criminal activities. Is that correct?
It's wrong.
It's wrong, completely wrong.
It's not an investigator, it's wrong.
Okay. Now, Chair, let's take matters to the issue of, I think a lot of issues I've covered. I'm left with just the issue of when you wrote communications.
I want you to know that you are asking the last question.
Yes, it is the last question.
Yeah.
General Khumalo is due to come and testify. But following his testimony, what was cut down in the Judicial Commission, it seems to be a very different story with what you are using, but it's fine, we'll take it when he comes here. But I want you to confirm before us what we have been communicating with him on the dissolution, because he's a project leader. Now, what has been his responses to the numerous communiques you have been sharing with him in respect of this matter? Thank you.
Basically, he ignored my emails, because remember the National Commissioner said he told him to ignore me, and as a result, which means whatever that was happening going forward, it was happening because the National Commissioner said, this is how you will do it. Now, even when the dockets were brought over to head office or wherever, starting from when the National Commissioner said, ignore that one, whatever that happens now going forward is the National Commissioner's instruction. So, coming up the dockets, General Khumalo would never have brought the dockets to head office or wherever, because he already got instructions from the National Commissioner himself that says, ignore that one. So anything and everything that flows therefrom, National Commission.
Thank you, General. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you so much, Honorable Sokanyile. Thank you so much, Honorable Ngola. Honorable Skosana and Honorable Shongwe. The two of you, when you are done, we are going to break. So in case honorable members may want to see themselves in and out, you can just do that discreetly. Thank you so much. Honorable Skosana and Honorable Shongwe, I'm handing over to you.
Sorry, Chair.
No, before, senior counsel wanted to say something.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. No, it was at the time when I think he was looking for some assistance on the the dockets, and I was going to just point out perhaps which annexes he might want to refer to, but it seems we've passed that now. Thank you.
Chair, thank you. Just a quick one before Honorable starts. Are we sharing the time, or you're going to cap us in terms of 10 minutes of an alt, or taking is 20, or is it one time combined?
Your time is 40 minutes.
Okay.
It's 30 minutes for the full member, and
okay. Can you please advise us when
you must not even ask about your time because it's the discretion of the chair.
I won't fight you today. But kindly, when it's 30, please tell us so that I won't be told it has eaten into the 3
I
minutes.
have said that when you see the microphone upright, you must know that your time has petered out.
Sorry, Chair.
General Sbia.
Chair, I want to ask a question in relation to the Honorable Member's Kosana. That because he's a complainant in my case, and this is the person I'm going to sit with at some point, stand against in court, because he's a complainant. And him using this platform now to solicit answers from me that I'm going to have to defend before court, to me, it's a very serious concern. This is the member that I feel is working with General Mkhwanazi, because the statement that was used by the General Mkhwanazi's team to go and open a case, his name is there. Now I must stand before the same member to cross-examine or to ask me questions. Now I'm raising a concern.
Yeah.
If I can be protected.
I'm going to protect you in this way. You are raising a legitimate concern, and then we may not even be seen trampling on your rights. What I will advise you to do, because I explained to you yesterday that sitting here as the committee, we do not have any power to decide on how we are composed. So, to protect your rights, I will advise you to decide if you want to respond to the question or not. If a question is asked to you, you can decide if you want to respond to it or not.
And if I say I don't want to respond to his questions?
No. We have to follow the process. You can't say, I don't want to respond to your questions. We must allow him to ask the questions. And then if you say, I reserve my right to comment, then it's okay.
Thank you, Chair. I think, Chair, there's a portal up, Chair. Sitting in front of us is Honorable Kosana, who was sent by Mkhonto Wesizwe. Mkhonto Wesizwe is the one that opened the case. Now, let me remind you quickly, Chair. At one stage, South African says Parliament did nothing when Honorable General Mkhwanazi came to Parliament on this matter. So Mkhonto Wesizwe took an initiative before, at the same time when Honorable General Mkhwanazi spoke about this matter and opened a case. It is Mkhonto Wesizwe, not to Honorable Skosana. It can be in a case where General Sbia will be sitting with somebody else in court, not to Skosana, sent by Mkhonto Wesizwe. So I think the clarification is pure and clear, Chair, that he must answer questions. And when you say he must not answer questions, sorry, Chair, when you say he must not answer, you can decide on which questions to answer or not. He can say from number 1 to 30, no, I don't want to answer. No, I don't want to answer. Where are we going to do that?
No, Chair? I'm not saying that he must not answer.
No, Chair, you are saying that he must decide if he wants to answer or not.
Yes.
So if from number 1 to 100, he decides, okay, he's going to waste our time and say, he asked a question and then he says, no, I don't want to answer. No, I don't want, until number 100. What is that? Is it not the same as what you have instructed or somehow gave him an option not to answer? So I think this is separated from court. This is Parliament. He must answer to Parliament. Here is answering to a parliamentarian who's sent by South Africans, not a person who opened the case sent by Mkhonto Wesizwe. Two matters are separate, Chair, I think. Thank you.
Honorable Nomvalo.
Chairperson, thank you very much. My apologies. When the matter was raised, I was responding to a nature call. I'm actually surprised that the matter has been raised by a witness because if my memory serves me well, the position that we took yesterday in relation to this matter is that there will be a legal advice from the Office of the Speaker. But before that, a member, Andile, from the technical team, made an indication that as far as the applicable law is concerned, there is no crisis here. Honorable Kosana can continue to participate in a meeting. And that decision was communicated to the witness, Chair. I remember you conveying, and you even made a reference to the terms of reference. The witness said, it's fine, Chair, if that is a position, I will continue. But please note that I had a protest. Those were his reply. For him to come and raise the same issue here, even when it was better clarified yesterday, I think it is undesirable, Chairperson. We had a position on this matter. If there's anything that is outstanding, is a legal advice from the Office of the Speaker. If still the committee members are not satisfied with a response that was given by Andile, we also even said, as the MK party, if there is a legal advice coming from the Office of the Speaker, we will also consult our own senior counsel in this regard to ensure that there is a strike of balance and we are satisfied with what has been communicated to us as a legal position. So I really understand, maybe the witness has forgotten, but my memory reminds me that this is a position that we agreed upon yesterday.
Okay. Honorable Matthys.
Thank you, Chair, for recognizing me after. Okay, just a few things, Chair. I think we are keep regressing on this matter, right? So we have gotten an opinion from our parliament lawyers, and not just on these matters, but when we were discussing recusal on a lot of different members. It's clear, number one, Chair, that there's no independent member of parliament in South Africa. We are political party democracy. The things that we do it on behalf of our political party. The next thing we're going to have here is that we're going to be told when Cyril Ramaphosa appears here that the EFF or the Commander-in-Chief must recuse himself because we've got a case against him in the Constitutional Court. That's where we are heading. Further, Chair, even if any of these members from their political parties, we as a committee take a decision, which we don't have the power to do, both within our terms of reference and within the rules of parliament, because the rules don't cover the issue of recusal, right? We're political party members. Nothing stops the other member from the same party or the party of holding that position. So I can recuse myself because I've opened a case on behalf of a party. That doesn't mean that Honorable Malema, we don't have the same position, and when he comes here, he presents the same thing. The same thing, Honorable Kosana, even if he makes a decision to recuse himself, it doesn't stop his other members from asking exactly the same questions. So I think we are really wasting our time, and we just need to move. I don't even think we need to have a legal opinion about this. It's very, very clear. There's nothing in both our rules of parliament and both in this ad hoc committee that says that members or gives us as a committee or even as parliament for any members to recuse themselves unless they've gone through some ethics process or powers and privileges process, and none of us have done that. Thank you, Chair.
Is there any other honorable member who wants to speak on this matter? Okay. Look, the witness yesterday raised a matter on the participation of Honorable Skosana in the proceedings. And we members are right. We explained to General Sibia that in terms of the rules that we have, we are unable to eject any member from this committee. What we can do is just to bring that matter to the attention of the Speaker of Parliament. That is what the rules empower us. So the matter which General Sibia raises is different from participation in the committee. He is saying in the records that you have in the courts and the police, the complainant is Honorable Skosana. And so, do you allow him to ask me questions? And I respond. And where I'm sitting as the chairperson, I can't prescribe how the questions must be answered. I can't force the witness to say, you are going to answer in this way. And that is why I say, if Honorable Skosana is going to ask questions, let's allow him to ask the questions that he has and hear what the responses of the witness are. If the witness says, no comment, that is a response. If the witness it's a response. No, because we must not run these proceedings in such a way that we become unfair to a member of parliament, or we also become unfair to the witness. And if you remember, I have been emphasizing this point that the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa is written in the name of the citizens of this country. That's how it is written. It's in the name of the citizens. So when General Sibia appears before us as a committee of parliament, he does not forfeit his status as a citizen of this country. And the honorable member as well is a citizen. I think what the honorable members from the MKP, if they feel that there may be a problem, they may decide to ask the same questions through another honorable member. But I mean, you are going to put the chair in a very difficult position if every time a question has been asked, especially that when we started the proceedings, General Sibia put it on record here and said, you must know that I'm getting into these proceedings under protest. It's not something that he's raising now. So can I get indication from you, honorable members from the MKP, if you want to proceed, Honorable Skosana, to ask or you pass your questions to?
Thank you, Chair. It will depend on the response from the witness. If the question which I have, as you said, if you say no comment, I'm going to leave those questions. There's a lot of questions besides that, but I just want to say here, Chair, before you allocate me the minutes, I don't want us to mislead the nation and the members, honorable members, that I am talking to General Mkhwanazi. That statement alone is misleading. I sit in the South African Police Service Portfolio Committee here. I mean, dealing with South African Police Service. I sit in the Police Portfolio Committee. I deal with everyone across the board, from the minister to the top management of South African Police Service, and to the ordinary member, a complainant on the ground.
Yeah.
So it can't be right to say, maybe I'm a friend, maybe no, I'm not a friend.
You are raising
I'm at work.
You are raising a valid point, Honorable Skosana, and let's get Honorable Sibia to withdraw that part that says you opened a case because you are talking to General Mkhwanazi.
Order, Chair. Can I raise a point of order? Chair, I don't think it would be correct for you to direct a witness how to answer or what he must do. He's made the point, and I think you rather want to ask him if he wants to withdraw it. Because now it looks like you are saying to General Sibia, withdraw that. So maybe you want to ask whether he thinks he wants to withdraw it. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. General Sibia, when you made a statement how you feel about Honorable Skosana asking you questions, you made an additional statement apart from the protest that you registered with us. You made an additional statement that goes to say he opened the case because he talks to General Mkhwanazi. Do you stand by that statement? I think it's what the honorable member is asking me to check with you.
Yeah, I stand by the statement for simple reasons. The fact that the honorable member went and opened a case, and then the next thing, the details of the case and the statement and everything is what the investigating officer of the case is using in applying for a search warrant. As far as I'm concerned, there has been communication. And I'm not doing it to disrespect the House. If ever, in one way or another, it gets to a point where I'm regarded of being out of order, I really apologize and I would withdraw if that is the case. But if I'm not wrong, may I be allowed to still stand to that statement? Because remember, Chair, that there have been marches against me as well from the MK party. And it's the same MK party that opens a case against me. And the MK party, it was in support of General Mkhwanazi. The march was saying in support of General Mkhwanazi. And then now, again, the MK party opened a case against me. And now I'm standing before an honorable member and who's now must ask questions from me, and these are the questions of which the honorable member statement or what he was mentioned in the papers that conducted the search and seizure at my house. So to me, Chair, is deeply involved in this whole thing that is going on, unfair thing that is going on against me. So I feel that here I'm standing in front of.
I think the part that Honorable Sangoni wanted to hear is not the motivation for why you think it will be unfair for him to ask you questions. Is whether you stand by the part that says he talks to General Mkhwanazi.
I stand by that, Chair.
Okay. Do you want to continue, Honorable Skosana?
Oh yes, I want to continue, Chair.
Before you continue, let me hear Honorable Sols.
Chair, this very thing that's happening now is what that concept wanted to avoid. That if someone is in conflict, because now we are discussing a case that's not part of this process, but it was exactly to avoid that. But my question of clarity on a matter of procedure, I asked it yesterday, but it wasn't responded to after the parliamentary legal advisor gave the legal opinion on the matter. So I just want to have a clear understanding.